What's the word for the guy who doesn't want a relationship but also doesn't want you to move on?
Crazy. I got asked out by the Spectrum guy after he didn't fix my internet.
Sober January. Kind of sucks.
Try no sugar and no alcohol January. Double suck.
Indeed. Have such a good day. Hello, world and universe and beyond. Welcome to Have Such a Good Day, because whether you're an alien or a human, you should be smiling.
And you should be listening to our show.
That too. And that's the only way you can smile. Aliens, if you're listening, you've come to the right place.
I just don't know if they would have reception up like on another planet.
Or teeth to show if they
Ooh.
smile.
Yeah, that is interesting.
What was that one movie that everyone loved so much? I hate alien movies, but where the alien was a very strange form. It was Amy Adams.
Oh, yeah. The Arrival, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Wasn't a terrible movie, actually.
No, she was pretty good in it, though.
But I don't
carried
think that alien necessarily is smiling.
No, but he understands language. There was like that interesting language thing. So maybe he would like, I don't know, maybe he would be humored by our show.
It's a he, obviously. You could tell.
Welcome to the show where we share the absurdity of everyday life. You know you have it, and you know it makes you crazy, and we're here to sort of commiserate on that said absurdity. Absurdity
that we all have. Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. Our absurdities aren't always in sync with each other.
No. Sometimes they are, though.
Everybody's got it. It's kind of like during the holidays where every family is crazy.
Yeah, everyone's like spinning.
Not always crazy in the same way.
No.
But I've yet to meet a non-crazy family.
I think it's like the dysfunction that just comes out during holidays because people are, it's like high emotions and, they're all together in the same room, which isn't all that maybe often. And so, they play off of each other's, just emotional state.
Well,
every family's dysfunctional, including this one right here.
We're all dysfunctional.
And this one. No, just kidding.
That's the beauty of it.
Yes, it is.
Hey, for everybody who's watching our video, I forgot to wear the pants that I got on Poshmark last week, but I'm wearing them this week. I mean,
they're damn cute.
They're, you just see a little butt, but boy, do they fit well.
I know. I like them. I've seen you wear them a couple times now. I'm liking them.
I'm really happy with my purchase, and I will be back. So
hey man, look at my closet on Poshmark. I got some stuff for sale on there.
I will. we probably fit some of the same stuff.
I think so, for sure. Bonus topic, Sarah. Do you want to know what we're going to be talking about at the end of the show?
Yes, I do, and so does the helicopter flying over heads. He's just hovering. I need to know what the bonus topic is for all of our $5 per month and over patrons.
Actually, I'm going to get into it more later, but this one came in. I'm actually going to flip the switch on us a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm not going to use what won on our poll. I had a lot of wacky stuff in the poll this week. I'm starting to kind of run out.
Using your veto powers, I like it.
I am. I made an executive decision.
Okay.
Because a new patron, Alice Dubin, who
hey,
you know,
Alice. Yes, hello.
She became a patron a couple days ago, and I'm on a group chat with her and a bunch of people, and she was like, I am just dying to know like what you guys think about this. Can you please do this now that I'm a $5 bonus topic patron? Please, can you shed some light on this issue? And it is our lists, ways to stay organized, whatever it is that you do. Are they saving our lives or are they killing us?
Oh,
I will get into a little more detail about that later. But this is gonna be a fun one.
Okay. All right. Well, for anybody who might be joining us for the first time or thinking, $5 a month, is that, what do I get? Well, you get all sorts of things, but the bonus topic is when the show ends, we've got a regular show for everybody, and it's a wonderful show. We take it to another level with an additional topic for the folks who really want to stick around and hear a little bit more. So that will happen at the very end of the show.
I mean, you get a bonus topic. You get to see us smile. You get to see us frown. You get to see us outside. You get to see us inside. I mean, the possibilities are endless on this show.
Well, all of our patrons can see the video. So the $5 patrons just see more of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the extended trailer.
Yes, it is. It's the director's cut.
It really is. Yeah. This is a show about cool and disturbing things from the internet and pop culture, and of course, us commiserating about the absurdities of life. It's all over the place, and in fact, we've thought a lot about lately, in particular, because we want to grow the show and get the word out. You know, is the show focused enough?
Yeah.
Do we want to kind of hone in on certain topics and leave out others? And for right now, the answer is no.
You know, yeah, it would be really good to hear from you guys about this, because we've gotten some really similar feedback from people that seem to really enjoy it, and they like the way it's a bit of a hodgepodge, because most of our stories, even if we're talking about movies or music or, you know, something that happened in our lives, it all comes back to like how we sort of digest it, and how maybe the collective would digest something like that.
Yes.
And so I feel like there is a bit of a connective tissue, but you know, we want to know, you know, all these things we talk about how it affects us all, essentially.
Yes. The human condition is the underlying.
Yes, exactly. The human
theme,
condition.
the ribbon.
Yeah.
The stream of life.
And you let us know.
But if there are topics that you want more of, or topics that you want less of, that is good feedback.
Or
so
perhaps you know, we should think about doing a different type of connective tissue. I don't know, but I do like the human condition is where we're at right now. So
Yeah. All right.
love it or leave it. No, just kidding.
So last week, beat it out of here,
Beat
you
it.
scamp.
You rat.
Last week we shot the show and recorded the show right before New Year's Eve. So Heather and I were all about the end of 2018.
Oh,
well, it's
yeah.
2019, folks. So stop your sniveling.
Get real.
Get real. Speaking of getting real, on Sunday I go to CES, which is a huge. It's the Consumer Electronics Show. That's what the acronym is. It takes place in Las Vegas every year, same time. It's always right after New Year's. It comes up quick.
Such a bad time of the year. I mean,
It is.
it's freezing
it makes
the
the
desert.
holiday season weirdly extended.
It does.
Because it's work.
Yeah.
I've never been to CES just for fun, because of course I work on a tech show, daily tech news show, so it's very much in my wheelhouse. And Heather and I have been when we worked at TechCrunch and Engadget with Tech TV.
I never felt like I could party hard on New Year's because I'm like, I got to go to Vegas like on the 2nd or the 3rd or whatever.
Yeah, they pushed it back a week, which has been very helpful.
Yeah.
But I think even when we were at Revision 3, we might have gone. I certainly went with the Twit TV folks. Anyway, lots of CES trips. I will be going again on Sunday, and hopefully, if you're there, we can high-five each other at the Win or something. But
Staying at the Win? That's nice?
No, we're not staying at the Win. That's just where Showstoppers is, which is one of the shows that everybody goes to.
Damn.
Yeah, no.
Ballin'.
We are, I don't even know where we're staying. It doesn't matter. I'll just
Don't reveal that information.
we'll find each other on this trip. How hard could it be? You know, there's only 5 million people there at any given time. But it'll be Sunday through Wednesday, it's funny because work travel in many ways is like, well, you know, the company picks up the hotel, and you know, I was lucky enough to somebody figured out my flight arrangements for me. I kind of just have to show up, and I have work to do there, but there are certain things that are kind of nice about work travel. Of course, it depends on where you work. Sometimes you have to do all that stuff yourself.
Depends on your expense account too.
all of those things come into play, but this trip really is doing what I do remotely for a few days, and there shouldn't be a whole lot of headache and hassle involved. But my issue is, oh man, like getting ready to go on that work trip, especially now that I have a dog. Anybody who has a dog, I don't know why you didn't tell me this beforehand. The dog is like almost $200 to stay with somebody for a few days.
It's not more.
Because he can't stay at my house just having somebody come in a couple times. Like that's
He'll eat all your shoes.
Or just be really miserable and lonely. And I suppose I could have had somebody stay at my house, but I think it just works out better this way because the person who's taking care of him she's this is a pro. This is what she does. So I feel like he's actually better off in a place where she's really comfortable, so that that's just what we're going to do. But then I got to have somebody feed my cats.
Yeah.
And so,
And I'm out of town.
And you're out of town. And Heather and I live close to each other. So in a perfect world, we just feed each other's cats every once in a while. But we're both out of town. So we're actually using the same cat sitter, it turns out, which
definitely
worked out well. But you kind of go like, okay, so I got to go on this work trip. It's kind of, I got to,
gotta make sure you got all the food.
Get my headspace right. And I got to pack. And I got to pack some gear. And I got to pay all this money so my animals don't die. Man.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And that's why I want to come back. This is sort of my full circle to say, anyone with children, I salute you.
Yeah,
because
seriously.
I know that is harder than anything I'm describing, and you're chuckling, but I just don't know how you do it.
No, really. It's
unless, well, single parents specifically, I guess, is what I'm thinking of. Although
if you don't have family nearby, and I have a friend who's a single mom, and she thankfully has, when she needs to go out of town, she just brings her kid to her brother or her mother.
That is very
But
helpful.
if you didn't have that, I can't even imagine. You can't even go to a yoga class ever.
I don't think if I had a child, which is not happening. I'm not dropping hints. But if I did, I think I would have to move back to where my mom lives.
Oh, for sure.
Just for sanity and help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've thought the same thing. I'm like, would I move to Santa Cruz Mountains, or would I move, Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's what's going on in my world.
The dread of work travel. Oh, I know it. In fact, I am traveling tomorrow, and I'm not even packed, and I have to do a million things. And I'm dreading regular travel. And it's not because I'm dreading what I'm doing on the other end. It's more like, for me, and I've noticed this as I've gotten older, it's the anticipation of leaving. It's like, once I get in the Uber and I go to the airport, and when I'm on the plane and I'm there, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm in the moment. I enjoy my trip. I think it's getting to the airport and settling in and getting on the plane and getting in your seat and all of that, the rigmarole of it, and getting there on time and the rushing of it. That's what gives me anxiety, and making sure my house is all locked up and everything's, squared away.
Yeah.
It's funny because my dishwasher's been broken for over a week. And, I know that that's a modern luxury, but washing all of your dishes, which I did the other day because I was so lazy because I didn't have, I couldn't use my dishwasher. So I spent, a half an hour washing all of my dishes.
Well, that doesn't sound lazy at all.
No, but I
I would just leave them.
I know. I did. I put it off for 3 days, and it got really disgusting. And I'm like, man, I really miss my dishwasher. Anyway, that's not really my anecdote. But what I wanted to say really quickly is Sarah and I spent New Year's Eve together. Normally, we have
curled up in the fetal.
And I would say by a fireplace, but neither of us have one, so it's kind of sad.
We have Nest thermostats, though.
We sure do.
Fancy times.
We actually did a little small bar hop. It was nice. We have a local wine bar that is so cozy and cute. Little disco ball. They had a little old man playing piano. It was actually quite adorable.
It was.
I enjoyed myself. But it's funny because I'm so used to partying a little bit more, staying up later, really being with a bunch of people and it being a raucous good time. And it made me a little sad. Not because I didn't have a good time with you, but really I think it's a mourning of our more youthful selves.
Sure.
And same with my birthday. My birthday was also a little more low key. It was things are just more low key. Things have changed, and sometimes it's hard to accept that. Even though I wanted to go to bed early, but I still was mourning this aspect of ringing in the new year and really just doing it up,
Yeah, I hear you. Well, yeah, Heather and I we kind of called it around 10:30, and
I stayed up till midnight, but I went to bed at 12:01.
Okay.
Or
See, I
12:05.
definitely was asleep, and I was completely fine with that. In fact, I think we both sort of looked at each other I think we're done.
Yeah,
we
did.
It's kind of time to go, and that was perfectly fine with me. It didn't bother me at all because I don't know. It just didn't bother me. Even though, yeah, we were at a super fun woo party last year.
Yeah.
There just wasn't anything like that happening, and I wasn't gonna throw a party. But I did find that when the people that were interested anyway, asked, "Oh yeah, so what'd you do?" I was like, really mellow.
Yeah,
I was asleep
totally.
before midnight, you
Yep.
know, and
It was more of a happy hour. It was more of a like
those
earlier.
Those are the kind of conversations where I immediately think like, oh, do they think I'm lame? And then I'm like, hold on a second. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, this is what I wanted to do, and it doesn't matter if anybody thought that I was being an old lady, because I was.
You know, I feel the same way. It's funny. I don't feel bad about it, but like today I, got a little haircut, and the girl who cut my hair was really cute, like clearly in her like maybe late 20s, early 30s. She asked her what she did for New Year's, and she did exactly what I used to do. She went to a cool club with her friends, and it was like, everyone was wearing like cute dresses, and it was just this whole thing. And part of me was like, aw, I remember what that was like. Anyway, I digress. What else is going on, Sarah?
Well, I thought that this would be a great topic for all of us because as many of us are mobile in the sense that we move around frequently, a lot of us aren't homeowners, or you could be. This actually applies to pretty much everybody, but I was kind of thinking in terms of my recent move and yours and being like, okay, well, all my stuff fits in my space now, but my new space is different or smaller or bigger even. How am I going to figure out the furniture situation?
Yeah.
And it's a good time to, like, I just bought a mirror that I really like, which I still can't figure out how to hang because it's like 400 pounds. But I also digress. Amazon, which is a place among many where you can buy furniture from, has debuted something that they call Showroom, which is it's a variety of virtual rooms that you can access if you've got an Amazon account. Everybody's got access to it, either in the Amazon app or on the web, where you can basically add a bunch of a rug, a lamp, a chair, a sofa, whatever.
And it's in a living room setting, like the image.
It's in a room setting. It doesn't have to be a living room.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, it could be a bedroom or whatever, or office. And the idea is to just kind of start putting stuff into this room. It's all fake, but it's all based on furniture that you can buy on Amazon.
Sure.
Amazon also has some of their own furniture lines now, so this is definitely about moving some merch and Amazon getting a lot more money for it. So you might say, well, that's fine, but what if my actual living room is not the same dimensions or size, or the windows aren't in the same place as this virtual room? Well, yeah, I mean, the whole idea is to kind of get like, okay, it's almost like a Pinterest thing.
Yeah.
This is my style. This is the kind of stuff I think looks good together, and just rearrange it. And then you might say, yeah, I think that teal rug really does look good with that leather chair. I didn't think it would, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks pretty good. Well,
so interesting.
Amazon, back in 2017, I believe. Yeah, that's right. Debuted an app that's kind of like this. I think it would work in conjunction. It's a camera app, basically. So you would scan your living room and be able to drop something, a chair or that rug or that lamp into,
so like A&R?
Like AR.
Yeah, AR. That's what I meant. I said A&R because of music, and I was talking to someone earlier today. I meant AR.
Yeah, which is augmented reality. So
Yeah.
it's like it's part reality and it's part putting something onto it. Virtual
Whoa,
reality
that
would be
totally
completely
makes sense,
virtual.
actually.
In fact, this is basically VR and AR.
Yeah, pretty much.
For people who like to buy furniture and to decorate things. So that is really helpful as well.
So cool.
Especially if you've got a little corner of the room where you're like, I just really want to know what it would look like if that one cool vase with some flowers in it was in that corner.
I feel like it's going to spike sales, but it's also going to lessen returns. Maybe it'll help with returns, people returning stuff, because they could be more sure.
That's a very good point. Especially because if you think about it, furniture is expensive to ship.
Yeah.
Now, Amazon, I mean, they've got all the money in the world. And there are, again, other companies who do stuff like this. Amazon is not reinventing the wheel here, but it is Amazon wanting more of that big, heavy, bulky stuff.
Yeah.
That people consider what West Elm is for, or Pottery Barn, or, there's all these big department stores that already do this really well. And yeah, returning a big bulky item to Amazon is annoying for Amazon.
I think also returning anything is annoying. Like I wonder if they've got to be already doing this on some level. I know they were doing it in certain stores, like clothing stores, but for clothing, because I think a lot of times for me, I don't want to go to a store to try anything on, but I know my size. But sometimes something will show up and it'll be a random fit. It'd be neat to do a virtual try on.
Amazon is doing that.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, they're doing pretty much everything that has to do with online shopping and as seamlessly as possible.
Yeah.
So that showroom, check it out.
That's
Let
cool.
us know what you think.
I'm into it.
Yeah, me too.
You know-
I'd be more into it if I hadn't just moved, because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not buying anything anymore.
That's true.
But
one of these days when you have your own house on an Echo Park little hill somewhere.
That's right. And I've won the lottery, so I've got lots of rooms to decorate, and money is no object.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Then I'll come back to showroom.
You know what? I know that you like this, Sarah.
Okay.
I'm very confident.
We'll see.
Don't you like falafel? I think that's like something you really
Very much
enjoy.
Yes.
I like a good falafel too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny. I heard this story on NPR yesterday. There was an Israeli falafel won a first prize at a Feed the World contest. So let me explain. So apparently in about 2050, the global population is going to near about 10 billion. I mean, I think we already know this. Where's all of our protein going to come from at that point? So people are starting to think about the very far future, like what are we going to eat? Because there's lots of problems with, cow flatulence, going in methane into the universe. Tofu is expensive, and also I have a vocabulary term for you. Have you ever heard of gynecomastia?
It sounds like something I don't want.
Man boobs. This is very
true.
So I think for a while people were thinking that
because
tofu
it's too
would
much
cause,
estrogen.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it doesn't. But oceans are overfished, that kind of thing. So these people got together, and also they found that algae, like spirulina, specifically, it doesn't exacerbate the environment, and there's plenty of it. And it has a lot of protein. Apparently it has like 60% of your daily protein.
No kidding.
So grad students at the Technion Israel Institute of Technology, they've invented this award-winning falafel. They call it the algalafel. Okay. And it again, it has spirulina in it, and it's supposedly going to feed future masses, that at a minimal environmental cost.
So because that was going to be my question. How is an algae falafel going to be better tasting than the halal guys that I order from Postmates all the time? But this wasn't about taste. This was about innovation.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yep. And
well, good for you guys. Maybe it does taste good.
I know. Actually, I like spirulina. I put spirulina in my smoothies. Also, I guess like the tahini that the sauce that goes on the falafel, it's enriched with something called astaxanthin, which is the antioxidant that turns flamingos pink, but it wouldn't do the same thing to us.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
It's a thing. Anyway,
flamingos are pink because of antioxidants.
Very nutritious new falafel is going to be on the market.
Well, hold on though. Back to the flamingo. So, is it something that they're eating that has antioxidants in it?
Yeah. So this is like the shrimp.
Oh, I think it's the seed, whatever.
Daxanthin.
Well, maybe they eat algae too.
Yeah,
they're usually hanging out in the water. Yeah, or nearby.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have the same chemical reaction for us.
I would eat an algae falafel just to see.
Oh my God, totally. But so it is an innovation competition for sure. So I mean, who knows if we'll ever be able to try one? But I thought it was kind of interesting.
It is very interesting. Before we move on the falafel tip, because I do have my favorites, and a good one is hard to beat. It's just a perfect meal.
Because sometimes they can be really dry.
Well, and also falafel. That's the little balls that are in a pita, or some other kind of falafel sandwich.
Balls.
I said balls. They're usually ball shaped, although they could be oblong.
Yeah, I would say so. Oval-esque.
A hexagon falafel. That'd be kind of. I'd like to see that. It's deep fried chickpeas basically.
Yeah.
But I did have a falafel. I cannot remember where it was, and I wish I could because I would call them out. That had little pieces of pineapple in it, and that was so offensive to me.
Yeah, I would have a really hard
Oh,
time
actually,
with
I do
that.
remember where it was. It was in Venice, California. In fact, I might have complained about this already.
You did, actually.
Yeah.
You did at least to me.
Yeah, it's just, I'm still mad about it.
I would be so mad. In fact, I'm slightly offended by pineapple on pizza, which
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
the Hawaiian style, I judge harshly.
I don't like fruit in my savory food. I think that I have a hard time. Like, I don't really enjoy a sweet salad. Like, I want a savory.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there's certain occasions that I don't mind it, like a melon salad or whatever. But
I think there's something about the combo.
it's invasive.
Like because it's usually pineapple, Canadian bacon, but you're on tomato sauce.
Yeah,
the whole thing gets weird. I know some people love it, and God bless you. God bless you all. But I'm not eating any of that crap. Yeah, pineapple chunks. At least put it on the menu.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. So you guys, if you haven't been there already, go to patreon.com/havesuchagoodday and read about all of us and all of our tiers.
All
two of us. We got lots of stuff to read on there. We have a wacky video. There's just a lot of reading material.
There's some reading material. If you haven't perused Patreon, all kidding aside, we are a community-based show. This is how we make our bread and butter. We'd like to make more, and by making more, we can give you more shows.
Yeah.
We can...
More content.
We can give you more...
spin-offs.
More content. Yeah, more fun ideas that you folks have that we can actually deliver, and we can't do it without you. So Patreon is a wonderful platform that allows us to make money each month to produce the show. And we're a proud but meager team of duh.
We're hobbling along.
We are. It's been a long holiday season.
Yeah, it has.
But the idea is that for just as little as $1 a month, you can contribute to us growing the show. We have various tiers of contributions, like we mentioned at the top of the show. Anyone who is contributing $5 or more, $5 and up per month, gets the bonus topic. And we've got other tiers there. We also have certain goal milestones that we are growing and hoping to be able to give you sooner than later.
Get more stuff. We would love to give you more stuff with more contributions.
Correct.
Thank you in advance.
Hooray for stuff.
Yeah.
So Heather, I mentioned that I was going to CES on Sunday. And another thing that happens on Sunday is the Golden Globes.
Oh, yes.
Now,
I do know this.
We're getting into awards season, and I take them very seriously.
Me too. I'm
Award
bummed
shows,
I'm probably not going to be able to see it.
Well, yeah, and I actually, it's funny because the Golden Globes used to be later in the year.
Yeah.
Not a lot later, but it wasn't during CES.
No, it was like end of January, I think.
Because the Oscars are sooner, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hollywood's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was funny. Tom Merritt, who's my co-host on Daily Tech News Show, who will be at CES as well, we were kind of thinking today, like, well, wait, did we watch it last year? We couldn't have watched it last year because we were at CES. It's the same problem because the Golden Globes have been at the beginning of January for at least a couple years now. And I realized, you know what I did? I did miss it. But what the broadcast always does is starts right over. As soon as the show ends, they just rerun it.
Yeah.
In fact, they might even rerun it a few times, but they definitely rerun it the once. Mm-hmm. So if it starts at 5 and ends at 8, then it starts at 8 and ends at 11 again.
Yep.
And I remember getting back to my hotel room and, you just kind of see, like, I don't know, there's local news on or something. And I was like, Golden Globes are starting. Because
awesome.
I just watched the Read broadcast and I didn't know anything about it because I had been
You were out
talking
and
about
about.
technology
Sure.
and consumer electronics.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So hopefully, if all goes well, I won't miss the show. But besides our schedules, I wondered, Heather, if there was any movie, and I haven't seen all of the contenders. I haven't seen.
Okay.
Golden Globes are different from the Oscars because you've got comedy and drama. So there's more categories overall. Mm-hmm. There's not just one Best Actress. You got two, for example. And so I have some catching up to do, and I'm going to watch a movie tonight and hopefully a couple tomorrow, because I have some screener action going on. Mm-hmm. But I do think if I had to make one prediction, it would be that Bradley Cooper will win Best Actor for A Star Is Born. Mm-hmm. I don't know know if Lady Gaga will.
I don't.
For Best Actress.
I mean, she.
Not that she wasn't great.
I don't think she'll win an Oscar, but she might win a Golden Globe.
I don't. If I had to predict, again, I don't know anything about these things, but I think because he's such a mainstay in Hollywood at this point, and he's a really good actor.
He might even win director. I mean,
that too. Yeah. That was sort of the only thing that stood out to me as, this is an obvious one. I watched Green Book recently, and so did you. And it
was great.
Yeah, it was great. And I thought it was, it was a great movie. At the same time, it's up against Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, which you loved.
Oh my gosh.
Mary Poppins Returns.
Never seen it.
I guess that's in there. And Vice. And you're kind of like, oh, all right. Well,
Yeah, it's funny.
It's quite a category.
It is. It's a really good year for movies. I actually have been to the theater a ton because I have a newish friend who is very into movies and takes me to movies all the time.
Well, it's not nice for you.
So I've seen almost everything. We were going to see Destroyer today with Nicole Kidman. It's a movie I've been wanting to see, that she's supposed to be like full on transformed crazy. Like I'm just dying to see her performance. But we're going to see it next week. But I would say, for me, The Favorite, I mean, honestly, I think it was my favorite movie of the year. In terms of kind of everything, including a lot of the actors, I thought did.
The Favorite was your favorite.
The Favorite was my favorite without a U.
Got it.
The Favorite was my favorite. Yeah, and I would say I feel, God, I mean, honestly, if Crazy Rich Asians wins over The Favorite, I feel like we're doomed. I don't know.
I didn't like Crazy Rich Asians.
You told me I never watched it. I probably should, so I have my own opinion.
But I was sort of the last of a bunch of people I know to see it who liked it.
Yeah,
and I was sort of like, I don't know. It's just. Some movies just are misses.
I totally agree. I heard Constance Wu though; her performance was great, and that's fine with me. Olivia Colman though from The Favorite, she was the queen, the main character. I mean, honestly, if she doesn't win something, I don't know. I don't even know what
You're
to
just
think.
gonna jump off a bridge.
I am going to, but
All
there's
right.
a few that I still need to watch. But keep me posted on what you see this weekend because I love talking about this stuff.
Me too.
Roma, A Star Is Born. Those were some of my favorites. From the year.
Roma should win everything.
I know, it's so good. Anyway, well, that's cool. I'm excited. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to watch it. I'm going to the mountains this weekend. I don't know if these people have internet strong enough to watch TV. I don't even know. Anyway, we'll see. I'll catch up on the YouTube after if I have to. So one thing that I found really, really interesting, I figure, let's talk about one more thing that we can think about in the new year. Something to maybe make us have a better world.
Okay.
In a better environment.
Just one thing, huh?
Just one thing.
Okay.
So did you know that there's 51 trillion microplastic particles that go into the ocean?
Well, I know about the Great Ocean, garbage dump in the Pacific.
Litters the seas. So basically, that's equivalent to just give you a little bit of perspective. 500 times the stars in our galaxy. That's how much litter the seas, and microplastics in general are a huge problem. Anyway, so here are a few things that we can do, small things that you can do, that everyone can do every day to help with this massive plastic problem that we have.
Okay.
I don't know, plastic water bottles I think are the freaking worst. When I was doing a lot of freelancing production sets, they've just got these, massive, boxes of those really cheap, bottled water, and the amount of crew that goes through those. I mean, an entire garbage can's filled up. I mean, it's extraordinary. Mm-hmm. Every hour, 2.5 million plastic bottles are thrown away. I find those to be just the most horrifying. That's the most horrifying statistic. But did you know when you wash your clothes, it helps to wash in cold water? Because there's a lot of toxic fibers in polyester and nylon and that kind of thing, like spandex. And if you run it hot or warm, like it pulls a lot of those fibers and then it goes into the ocean and it kills wildlife. It's kind of crazy.
Wow. I did not know that.
I know.
I mean, I wash cold because I'm trying to keep my elastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Longer,
that's what I do.
But now there's all the more reason.
Yeah. And so that one's kind of a crazy one. Also, obviously like good soap, like soap that doesn't have a lot of, chemicals in it. Composting your food. This is one thing that I've done before in the past, but I don't do now. I don't even have a compost bin. I would, I find it is a little bit tough doing it in the city. It would be great with a garden and you can just dump it out in the garden when you have like the space, but it gets really smelly. But, when you put an old piece of pizza or like a piece of, maybe some leftovers in the garbage, it goes in the landfill and it creates methane. It creates the greenhouse gas that, contributes to, bad environment. Beef is also a big one. It's also...
Hey, we got Petri dish beef now.
I know, that's true. That's crazy.
I know.
The amount of water that beef production requires is pretty stunning. And finally, the rush internet orders can tend to require more, kind of hustling to get them, takes more energy. But apparently the 14% of the packaging, like the plastic packaging, those little like bubble things that you get from like a, from Amazon or whatever, 14% of that plastic packaging is recycled in the US, which is a very small amount. And also be nice to animals. That's my last thing.
Oh, that's good. These are all very good tips. The plastic bottle thing, and I can't...
It's very upsetting.
Specifically remember which cities and towns these were, but having traveled to some sort of far-flung places in the world, I have been to towns where it's like people are just living among huge dumps of plastic bottles.
That's crazy.
Now, did all those people drink the water in the plastic bottles?
No.
No, for some reason, this is just where they ended up.
Yep.
Because it's like, I don't know, someone in the city was like, just put it over there. We're all,
it's awful.
Don't worry about that. And cows are eating the plastic. I mean, to see something like that and just to see how much it doesn't just contribute so much waste and take up so much space and not decompose and just be awful, but it's like, why would anybody have to... I don't know.
I know. It's a huge problem that we can only do in small. Everyone can make... If everybody makes an effort, then we might be able to see a change. But the problem is so many people don't. So...
Yeah, well, it's like carpooling.
Exactly.
People are like, I don't want anybody in my car.
True.
Too bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Anyway, let us know how you guys feel about this. Email us at hi@havesuchagoodday.com.
Please do.
And I would really like to share this cute little review that we got from Pixio.
Hey, Pixio.
I have no idea why I love this show, but I really do. It feels oddly comforting, like hanging with old friends. They do deep dives into the mundane and crack each other up in between. I feel like I'm a fluffy dog in the back of their convertible on a drive through sunny LA. I'm not sure where they're taking me, but I'm happy to be along for the ride.
Well,
I love it.
Well, Pixio, you couldn't have said it better.
I know. She encapsulated our show perfectly.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody feels that way. At the top of the show, we were sort of like, we don't really know what the show is half the time.
It's being in a convertible going through LA.
Yeah, and you're a fluffy dog. That's great.
I love it.
Good for you. That's so fun. Well, anyway, we've got a bonus topic.
We do.
For our $5 and up patrons coming up. But for everyone else, happy 2019, man.
Really.
We made it.
We really made it.
If you're watching or listening, you made it too.
We got to make it through this year too, though.
Yeah. And please, please don't be the dumpster shit show that 2018 and 2017 and really 2016 was as well.
No.
Yeah. Every year I've been limping along.
I know.
Well, with some, some great highs as well.
Year of the fortune pig.
Fortune pig. If he can't do it,
no,
or maybe it's a she. Maybe it's a beautiful fortune.
I think it might be
a female swine.
Yeah.
Is there a name for a female versus male pig? I know swine just means pig.
Yeah. I'm not really sure.
I don't know either.
And then there's what's the difference between a hog and a pig? Well, it's just a different.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, we have some homework to do.
I think it's
let
sort
us
of
know.
Maybe it's like frogs and toads.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I don't know, same species?
Yeah, they're like cousins or something like that.
I don't know. Same genus? Got to be the same genus.
Anyway, if you guys are not compelled to stick around for the $5 bonus topic,
then we can't help
I don't
you.
know what we can do.
Because you got
to
bigger
convince you.
problems. All right. Well, we'll get to it. For everyone else, Happy New Year. Happy 2019. We will see you next week. Until then, I will remain Sarah.
And I will be Heather.
Have such a good day.
Bye.
$5 ballers. Welcome. You know, it's funny. Heather and I we trade off shooting our video between my house and Heather's house. So we always just happen to be on your patio, which is great. And sometimes it gets dark
and cold
while we're doing the show. So, hey, look at this. We're still in the daytime.
Can't believe it.
How about that?
I know. It's an extra special show for you this week.
Yeah. See, if you're just listening, then I love you. But you should check out the video version of our show. Just to see what we're talking about, because sometimes it's very silly.
It is really funny. In fact, I wish I had this little note, but someone left a note on our YouTube about a video we did on the patio, and was just talking about how much she loves just the whole visual of it, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's really, really cute.
I'm glad you feel that way, because it's pretty low production.
It is. But, maybe that's what makes it special,
All right, so what's our bonus topic, Heather?
Yeah. Our bonus topic is, so I'm going to read the longer form to give you some context. And this is, again, coming from my friend and a $5 patron, Alessandra Dubin.
Hello.
Short for Alice. Welcome. And she asked me, I want to better understand what list making does for people and to people. I've always thought my lists were supporting, allowing, facilitating my life, and even improving it by helping me stay organized. But I also wonder if they might be killing me, reducing everything in my life to bullet points, almost undifferentiated by their existential importance. Are our lists saving our lives, or are they killing us? And it's actually funny that she brought this up, because I am a total list person, and I use notes on my phone and on my computer, and it syncs. And her and I had a little side conversation about this, because, she does that too. We like that analog vibe, because, there's a lot of different apps that are a little bit more interesting looking, and they have a little more complexity, we've tried them. There's so many, and there's great ones. We got in this conversation with this other person who uses a Trello and all these different things for different projects and people, and she's hardcore organized person, but I feel like I'm constantly stressed about making sure my lists are up to date. I'm like, because I'll think there's a movie I want to watch, this is a piece of groceries that I need to get, I'm out of this sauce, I'm out of toilet paper, whatever. And so I'm I've got different lists that are pinned up at the top, and but I feel like it's this constant job to keep my lists updated, and the lists don't get smaller. It's even if I get all the stuff, they get bigger again the next day, and so it's I'm chasing my tail in a way. That's what it feels like.
Well, but if you didn't have the list, you would just forget stuff.
You're right,
and you'd be so much worse off.
Yeah,
I understand, especially because so much of I have a variety of jobs, but one of them includes live programming.
Yeah.
And that I've always done that. My whole career I've been working in live programming. Well, for the most part. The majority of it has been live, either television or internet show or whatever. And when you do that, it's everything's a deadline.
Yeah.
If it's 10 a.m. and you haven't had breakfast, you're fucked. Yeah. Because you should have had it at 9:30, because now there's no time. Or I have to kind of eat as I'm typing, and that's no fun at all. So everything is very segmented.
Totally.
And it does feel like a list to me, where it's what time is it? Oh, I'm running 5 minutes late. Yeah. Those were 5 minutes where I could have peed.
Yeah,
totally. Or giving my cat her medicine or whatever. So in that sense, I understand that whole feeling like your life is just a series of things that you're checking off. Just
it's
to
almost
get
a frenzy.
Through the day.
I feel frenzied trying to keep up with it. Yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, I make lists too. Not as much as you do, because I don't know, I like to think I can memorize everything, which is totally impossible. But for example, I've got a bunch of drugstore items to get. I gotta get new mascara. I gotta get new like makeup remover wipes.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember right now that there are for sure a couple other things I need while I'm there. I'm like, maybe I'll just remember while I'm there, but I didn't write them down.
You'll probably wander around aimlessly, like, what did I need to get?
Yeah,
That's what I do.
exactly. Oh, I know. Laundry or dishwashing liquid, because I put the dishwashing liquid that you're not supposed to put on the dishwasher in the dishwasher yesterday, so that was a lot of fun. On top of everything else, yeah, don't do that. Unless you want like a toga party in foam in your kitchen, don't do that. Yeah, rookie mistake. Don't know what I was thinking. Just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I think having a grocery list for sure. Having something where you're like, I need to go to this place and I can't forget anything because it's like going to take me enough effort just to do this anyway, is a big deal. I used to, when I first had like my first job out of college, and you know, you're wide-eyed and ready to take on the world and learn lots of new stuff. I would wake up every morning. I had like my pencil and paper, and I'd numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and everything that I didn't get through that day would go on to the next day.
I do the same thing.
And that becomes number 1. And it was a pencil, so I could erase things and whatever, but it kept me very on the ball.
Yeah.
And of course, my life and my job was completely different at the time, so who even knows what those tasks were? I can't remember. But I've gotten away from that, and I think that, it's funny because I'm always talking about like how I hate paper and pens, and I want everything to be a paperless world. And pens are smudgy and pencils are annoying, and just get rid of all of it. But when you write something out, at least me,
it helps me.
It helps. There's something about a memory trigger.
And it's visual because it's in front of you, as opposed to on your phone where you have to like open up something. But I like the pad of paper too, where I can like highlight stuff that's really important, cross things off.
Yeah.
There's something therapeutic about that.
It's very old school, and yet it is. And I haven't done it for a long time because, again, I'm like, pen and paper. But
I can loan you a pen if you want.
Well, I have them. I just don't want them. But I agree that having a list, I think, not having lists of to-dos or reminders or, make sure you call it, not having anything like that is almost like not having a calendar. I mean, you couldn't live your life unless you were like completely off the grid and only had to like take a walk every day.
I think it's like, yeah, sure, there maybe these lists are driving us crazy, but like, what's the alternative? Like,
it would be worse.
Because I'm telling you, I became a big list person because I will often go to the grocery store, and if I don't know what I'm getting, like say I really need something very important, I will literally go in there and forget.
Oh yeah,
and it'll
happens
be like,
to me every day.
So important. It was such a basic thing, and I wander around like I look aimless. People probably are looking at me like, "What is wrong with that girl?" Like I literally, it's like everything gets blank when I walk in there, and it used to drive me crazy. And so it's funny. I feel like my notepad goes back years. I mean, I've got so much stuff down there. Sometimes I will look way down. I get like creative ideas from it. Like I feel like it's a work of art because I have lists that are like, I have like my karaoke songs, in case I draw a blank when I'm at the, the karaoke bar. I mean, I have stuff that I want to remind myself to watch, like a TV show or a movie, but it goes even further. Like I put quotes in there, like things to remember, like, don't be sad. You have this, and this, or whatever. Like, I mean, it's
cute. It's like you're having a little conversation with your brain.
It's like, it's like my little scrapbook in a way, even though it doesn't have like, I'll use emojis and stuff a little bit. Yeah. Just like you're having a conversation with your brain. That's a good way of putting it.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how crazy maniac you are about your list, but I don't think lists are killing us. I think we'd be a lot worse off. But I know what you mean, Alice. I think I know what you're getting at, where it's like you're almost not stopping to smell the roses enough because you're trying to get through all this stuff that needs to happen, and you feel like you're not being productive if you're not getting through them, and then you kind of look around and go, where'd the day go? Where'd the week go? I actually find, and it's funny because Heather and I are going to be going on a vacation in a couple of weeks, which you'll hear all about soon enough. I haven't been, and it's out of the country. I haven't been out of the country since 2016, and that's unusual for me. It just life got in the way. Yeah, and so I'm really excited about it. And what I do find, and I think this is kind of similar, is I will get very obsessive about where I'm staying, the neighborhood, best restaurants around. I will look on Google Street View, and I'll have walked the entire neighborhood before I've gotten there. Unless for some reason it wasn't on Google Street View, which is pretty rare. Got to go to Antarctica for that. and as I'm doing it, I keep saying to myself, like, stop, Sarah. You're like ruining it. You're ruining
the spontaneity.
The spontaneity and that kind of like, wow, look at this place. I've already seen it.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing. And too much prep. It's almost like seeing trailers before movies in a way, or reading reviews before watching a movie.
It's too much prep.
Yeah.
It used to be when I used Foursquare much more than I do now, which is an app where you can find places near you and also, check in and whatever. It's a little bit different now, but I used to go to a new city and be like, we have to go to this is like the highest rated restaurant, and it would kind of give me anxiety to just be like, fuck it.
It's funny.
Do something else.
I did like looking back. So sometimes with people like, where did you go? That place you went to in New York that you loved, that restaurant. And I would go into Foursquare and look at, because I would check in and be like,
breadcrumb trail.
Exactly.
It's
I
helpful,
love that.
But I do think that it's sort of like having this, like, this is a list of cool things that I need.
Yeah.
Now, I'm using travel as an example, but you could, I don't know, think about like your favorite cool department store or something. And I know that I kind of ruin the vacation a little bit by going overboard with that stuff.
No, I totally agree. Well, technology, I think, does that.
So we're just going to land and we're just going to wander.
Oh, yeah, we're going to we'll be careful. We're going to a somewhat sketchy city.
Well, I don't think the neighborhood we're going to
pretty good.
Is sketchy at all.
I agree.
But we are going to be with a larger group of folks who are going to be rando. We're going to be scattered all over the place. So who knows where we'll end up?
Well, we'll stick together.
Yes, we will.
So that one of us doesn't get kidnapped.
I don't think anyone will get kidnapped.
One last thing I want to say about this list thing. So I have a list of my main list. That's all, that's the thing I look at every day that has my shopping list. And it has things like watch French movies, go to this pizza place that I know I'll forget about if I don't write it down. But it has stuff on there that since I look at it every day, like there's activities like I want to plant an herb garden out here because it's sort of sad and there's all these weeds. And I've been wanting to do this for months now. And I have like herbs to plant, parsley, basil, chive, and I have this list, but I see it all the time. And I'm like, it almost stresses me out because I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that right now. I mean, it's also winter. And like, so there's things on that list where I'm like, like it's almost like too much. Like I'm not going to be able to tackle all this stuff.
Archive it for a while.
I think I need to organize my list, my main list, into multiple lists, and squirrel them away so I don't see them. But even like reminding myself to use my Instant Pot. Like the like I have to remind myself. I have to write that down because it's in the cabinet.
Just heard about the Instant Pot today.
They're so great.
Some folks, they love them. Well, it's sort of like, okay, so I've got a backyard now for the first time in quite some time. My last many apartments just had no outdoor space. And it's so stressful, my list of like, buy a picnic table.
It really is stressful.
Buy an umbrella, more plants. Like, just like, you go like, cool,
it's
backyard,
an investment.
What fun. Oh, I'm going to like hang out and read magazines and stuff. It's like, I've stopped going into my backyard until I'm ready to like really get this thing done because it's anxiety inducing.
It's exactly what happened to me with my last two places with those patios and everything. It was just, it's such an investment. Like you got to get like a cheap picnic table and keep it simple.
Well, sure. I'm happy to keep it simple, but it's still a list item.
It really is.
I still have to buy it like I'd buy anything expensive.
It's so true.
Well, screw it.
I mean, seriously.
I guess I think our overarching answer is lists. We can't eradicate lists.
They're a necessary evil.
They're a necessary evil, but it's gonna be way worse without them.
I agree.
Yeah.
I hope this is.
I think you would actually die without lists.
Yeah. I know. Well, if any of you guys
keep on, Ellis, with those lists.
Yeah, if you guys have any ideas, please email us at hi@havesuchagoodday.com, or you can always communicate with us on Patreon. There is a message board. We would love to hear from you. If you guys have any brilliant list organizational ideas, we would love to hear from you.
And if you're a person who likes kind of constant chatting in the background, our Discord community is so fun.
Yeah,
we
so
love
fun.
all of you so much. Please visit us on our Patreon page, patreon.com/havesuchagoodday to learn more about how you can get into that community as well. But that's where we get a lot of just sort of fun ideas for what people are thinking about and how their lives are going.
Sort of like moral support throughout the day. Like it's fun. We're
It's
like
fun.
a little group, cute little group.
Bunch of real nice folks. Yeah. It's a cool gang.
It is a gang.
It's not a scary gang.
No.
It's like a cool, fun, supportive
nice
gang.
We're very nice.
We're gang simpatico.
Yes.
I'm gonna change.
Join us.
I'm gonna change our general channel to gang simpatico and just not say anything about it.
I'm actually wondering when we get like triple or quadruple the amount of people in there, like what that's gonna feel like. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. We're gonna need lists. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, we're wrapping this up
before we get any weirder. All right, thanks everybody for being with us. We will see you next week. I'm Sarah.
I'm Heather.
And have such a good day.
Bye.
Bye bye.